Good day everyone, I am Lorgin A. Tura. Before we dive into our lesson, let's do a fun activity first. So I'll show you two pictures. All you have to do is to observe carefully and then try to guess what our lesson might be about today. Alright, here's the first pictures. So what do you see or what do you observe in the image? Alright, very good. Yes, it's a pizza. Now, here's the second image. Okay, what do you notice or what do you observe in the image? Alright, a human body. So, very good class. Great observations. Now, here's the big question. What do you think these images have in common? And what do you think our lesson might be about today? Alright, nice try everyone. Both pizza and the human body are made of different parts, but we often look at them as a whole when we describe or judge them. And that leads our topic for today is all about holistic rubric. So what is holistic rubric? So, holistic rubric is this assigns a level of performance by assessing performance across multiple criteria as a role. So, always remember in holistic rubric, it assigns the level of performance while as we go back in holistic rubric, reported by my co-reporter, it is just articulates the level of performance for each criterion. So, while in holistic rubric, it uses the level of performance by using the multiple criteria. So in contrast to analytic rubric, the holistic rubric does not separate levels of performance for each criterion. Instead, it gives a single or overall score based on how well students perform across multiple criteria as a whole. So rather than checking and scoring things like grammar, the structure, and the content separately, the teacher looks at the entire work and gives one score based on the overall quality of the performance of the students. For example, let's take a look at this holistic rubric. So as you can see in the image, as you can see here, wala siya naka-base or naka-separate iyang pag-grading. Instead, naka-level siya sa performance on what should the students acquire or receive na grade. And what the teacher choose the level based on the performance of the students and to have a general or faster grading on that performance of the specific performance of the students. So, why do you think some teachers might prefer giving one total score instead of breaking it into parts? Okay, very good insights. So one reason it is faster and more practical, especially when they're checking a lot of papers or projects. So giving a total score helps them to make a quick judgment without spending too much time on each part of that specific performance. So let us know when to choose or use the holistic rubric. So, well, one reason is when they need to make a quick or gross or a general judgment of a specific performance of the students. So let's say the teacher is checking a lot of work and doesn't have time to score every little part of that specific performance. So a teacher can use a holistic rubric which it helps them to give an overall score quickly based on the entire performance of the students. But it's not just for a fast grading. Holistic rubrics also be used for substantial assignments or what we called a big or important assignments like essays, presentations, or creative projects. So, where everything is connected and it makes more sense to grade the whole output instead of checking each part of a student's work one by one. So, the teacher look at the entire work and gives one overall score based on the general quality. So if the assessment is a minor one, such as brief homework assessment, or it may be sufficient to apply a holistic judgment, for example, check or no check, or check plus, that is quickly to review the review of work, the review of the review the student's work. So another, on some task, it is not easy to evaluate the performance of the students on one criterion independently of the performance on a different criteria. So this is how it should be. So you see, on some tasks, it's not easy to evaluate just one part of the work without looking at the others. So for example, in writing, it's really hard to grade the organization without also thinking about how clear the writing is. So, or to look at the content without noticing how it's presented. So everything is connected. So we are trying to score those parts separately, we might not actually see or show the full pictures of how well someone did, or some the students did. So that's why some teachers believe that a holistic or overall judgment of the work actually gives a better reflection of what a students can really do, especially for more complex tasks like essay, speeches, or performances. While holistic rubric are useful, they also have some disadvantages. So mind you guys that this is not a part of my report, but I want to add more information about holistic rubric so that you can understand the concept, you can understand better the concept of the holistic rubric. Alright. So one problem is that it only gives one overall score. So as a students, you might not really know what part you did well or what were you need to improve. Like if you got a 3 or 4, was it your grammar, your ideas, or your good organization that brought the score down? So you won't really know for sure if we are going to use the holistic rubric. So also, because the teachers is judging the whole work at once, the feedback can be a bit too general. It might be as helpful for the students who want specific advice on how to do better next time. So, and it can sometimes be a bit subjective, since it relies on the teacher's overall impression rather than the specific criteria. So in short, it's quick and simple, but the downside of the holistic rubric is that the students get less detailed feedback, and it can be hard to tell what exactly to improve of their performance. Now, what do you think about holistic rubric? So would you rather get one of score, or separate feedback for each part of your work or your performance? Okay, great ideas. Very good, everyone. So some of you want to get a one overall score, and some of you want the separate feedback for each part of your work and your performance, because you want to know if ahaba mo improve, or unsa ba inyong kailangan i-improve sa inyong performance or sa inyong mga projects or mga outputs. I guess that's all for my report about the holistic rubric, and I hope you gain more knowledge and understand my report all about the holistic rubric, and see you next time, everyone. Thank you.